صلوات. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. سورة الفاتحة.
أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري عن فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله إنه قال: سمعت فاطمة أنها قالت: دخل علي أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله في بعض الأيام فقال: السلام عليك يا فاطمة. فقلت: عليك السلام. فقال: إني أجد في بدني ضعفا. فقلت له: أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال: يا فاطمة، آتني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به، وصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ وكأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. صلوات. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال: يا أماه، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم نعم يا ولدي، إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن عليه السلام نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله. صلوات. أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل الحسن معه تحت الكساء. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين عليه السلام قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت: عليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أماه، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. صلوات. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين عليه السلام نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جداه، السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي، ويا شافع أمتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام صلوات. السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله صلوات. فقلت: نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي عليه السلام نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ فقال له: وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي عليه السلام تحت الكساء. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت: السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معك تحت الكساء؟ قال: وعليك السلام يا ابنتي ويا بضعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء، أخذ أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله بطرف الكساء وأومى بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال: اللهم أن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. أنهم مني وأنا منهم، فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، واذهب عنهم الرجز وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله صلوات. فقال الله عز وجل: يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، أني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل: يا رب، ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال الله عز وجل: هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل: يا رب، أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله عز وجل: نعم، قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله العلي الأعلى يقرؤك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي أني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ صلوات. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله، إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معهم تحت الكساء فقال لأبي أن الله عز وجل قد أوحى إليكم ويقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجز أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله اخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا وفيه محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا نزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. صلوات. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا وفيه محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله همه ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا قضى الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. الفاتحة.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Mu'minin, to commence with the auspicious Wiladat Maulud of Hazrat Abbas Alamdar, we'll request upon Brother Shabir Sadak to come and do the honors of reciting a qasida. Please welcome him with Latun Alayhi Salawat.
Muhammad. Little nashid in the love of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. It goes like this: O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. O moon of the Hashimites, O light from the heart of Haidar. O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. O you were born in the month of Shaban and brightened the house of Ali, and brightened the house of Ali. Your father's heart filled with joy and grief. Your father's heart filled with joy and grief. O standard bearer of Husain, O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. Oh, you are the hope of Ali, the wish and desire of Ali, the wish and desire of Ali. You the answered prayer of Ali. You the answered prayer of Ali. You the warrior of excellence. O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. Everybody together. O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. Your first glance was of your master Hussein, for whom you fought so valiantly, for whom you fought so valiantly. With your dying breath you called out, with your dying breath you called out, my brother, my brother. O moon of the Hashimites, O Abbas ibn Ali. O Oh, your dear mother was Baneen of a tribe of renowned warriors, of a tribe of renowned warriors. Your father, the champion of Khaybar, your father, the champion of Khaybar, your gallantry a certainty. O moon of the Hashemites, O Abbas ibn, O Abbas, call us to your shrine. O Abbas, call us to your shrine. O Abbas, I beg you to call. O Abbas, I beg you to call us to your shrine in Karbala. O moon of the Hashemites, O Abbas ibn Ali. Small qasida in honor of Imam Hussain. Hum Hussain wale, hum Hussain wale, hum Hussain wale, hum Hussain wale. یہ ہماری قسمت ہے، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم نبی کے عاشق ہیں، ہم علی کے دیوانے، ہم نبی کے عاشق ہیں، ہم علی کے دیوانے، اور حسن سے نسبت ہے، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم سے فاطمہ زہرا کر چکی ہے ایک وعدہ، ہم سے فاطمہ زہرا کر چکی ہے ایک وعدہ، اب ہماری جنت ہے، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں، یا علی کی مدحت ہے، یا حسین کا ماتم، یا علی کی مدحت ہے، یا حسین کا ماتم، اور ہر نفس عبادت ہے، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں، ہم حسین والے ہیں۔ محمد وآل محمد صلوات۔
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد مجفرا. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Mu'minin, we now request upon Dr. Sayyid Rehan Naqvi to come and deliver his lecture. Can you please all welcome him with a loud Nari Salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل هل يستوي الأعمى والبصير. Please recite a salawat. Respected listeners, my dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. About 12 years after Lady Fatima salamullahi alayha was martyred, the Amirul Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salam wanted to remarry. He waited for about 12 years. And then he wanted to marry a woman who belonged to a brave tribe. So he asked his brother Aqil to go and find a suitable match for him, someone like that, a woman from a brave tribe. So Aqil said, okay, I know Fatima Kelabia, and she is such a woman that I should go and ask her hand on your behalf. And Aqil went and spoke to the father of Fatima Kelabia. And the father said, let me go and ask her, ask my daughter what she thinks about it. So when he came home, he saw that Fatima Kelabia was speaking to her mother and telling her about a dream, a strange dream. And she said to her mother, Mother, I have dreamt that the sky got very close to me. The sky has come very near me. And then the moon and 3 stars fell into my lap. And as she narrated this dream to her mother, her father heard it and said, congratulations to you. Your dream has come true. The sky has come closer to you. Ali ibn Abi Talib. Because he wants to get married to you. So her dream came true, and she did get a moon and 3 stars, 4 sons, moon, Qamar Bani Hashim Abbas, and 3 sons, And therefore she was called Ummul Banin, mother of the sons. Now, of course, we are here to celebrate the birthday of Abbas. And it is one of the most difficult lectures to give for me personally. Because I do want to talk about Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam and learn about him. That's why we celebrate his birthday. But the problem is that we don't know much about him. In history, we don't see much about him, about his life. All we know about him is what happened in Karbala and what he did. However, what we do know about him is how the infallible Imams remembered him. How the infallible Imams talked about him. And if we pay attention to those names and those alqabats and epithets and attributes that the infallible Imams have mentioned in their ahadith and ziyarat, then we will come to know what kind of a person Abul Fadl al-Abbas was. We need to look at those names, those ahadith, those alqabat, and then we can learn a lot about Abul Fadl al-Abbas. So therefore, I have taken this opportunity to talk about 4 attributes of Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam that we can learn from the ahadith of the infallible Imams, and by inferring, by looking at the life and attitude and behavior of Abbas alayhi salam. 4 attributes. 1 attribute that we can infer by looking at his attitude and behavior on the basis of the stories and narrations we know. Then 2 attributes that we can learn from 1 hadith attributed to Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. And then the 4th attribute that we can learn from Ziyaratun Nahiyah, that is attributed to the Imam of our time, how he remembers Abbas. So these 4 attributes I'm going to talk about in this lecture, and they are very beautiful, very deep, and very relevant for us. We need to learn what kind of a person Abbas was so that we can try and emulate him. We can never become like him. We can never. But we can try to emulate him. We can try to walk into his footsteps and try to create those attributes in us to a certain degree, and even that certain degree is sufficient for us to improve our quality of life and increase our chances in the afterlife. Inshallah. So if you pay attention, you're going to learn a couple of things during the next 40 or 45 minutes or so that are going to help you understand some of our basic fundamental beliefs, increase our ma'rifah of Abul Fadl al-Abbas, and also learn a couple of things that can help us all live a better life in this world, inshallah. But before I proceed, wherever you are, you who are blessed to be present here and those who are blessed to be watching this program online, from the bottom of your heart, please recite a beautiful salawat. So, Qamar Bani Hashim is moon of Bani Hashim. Abbas was indeed moon. How come? How come? He was really moon. I said first attribute, first quality of Abbas I'm going to talk about that we can infer from his behavior, from his attitude. What is moon? What is moon? Does moon have any light of its own? Where does it get its light from? The sun. The sun. Now the Quran talks about the sun and the moon several times in the Quran. Wash-shams, wal-qamar, the sun, the moon. Now when we look at some of the ahadith-based tafasir, exegesis of the Quran, we learn that the shams, the sun, of course means this, the sun, but on a deeper level means something else. The moon means this moon, the moon of the earth, but also on a deeper level means something else. Pay very good attention. You're gonna enjoy what I'm gonna derive the conclusion. The sun and the moon. The hadiths tell us the sun is the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi. The moon is Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Ali's light is not his own. Be very clear. Ali is wasi of the Holy Prophet. It's the Holy Prophet who is Siraj Munir. And therefore, when the sun is out, the moon is not visible. And Ali was pretty much invisible until the Holy Prophet was alive. Really? Not out of his own will would he ever do izhar-e wujud. What is izhar-e wujud? Expressing your existence, making your presence felt, so much so that people in Medina did not know that Ali was an eloquent person. People thought Ali did not know how to speak. You cannot find a single sermon by Ali ibn Abi Talib in the life of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why should I speak up? Why should I show myself when the sun is there? And Abbas inherited a lot of attributes of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali's real warith was Hassan and Hussein. No one can be like them. There is no question about that. But it is written in narrations. Abbas inherited many of the attributes of Ali ibn Abi Talib, and one of those attributes was that just like Ali was the moon to the sun of the Holy Prophet, Abbas was the moon of the son, Husain. Never did izhar-e wujud. Izhar-e wujud, I'm using this term, which means manifesting your existence, showing your existence. I also exist, I am something. Never. You cannot find a single khutbah, single sermon by Abbas. And you might be wondering, what are you talking about? He has this famous sermon of Mecca, the Kaaba. Not authentic. The ulama say it is not authentic. Abbas never spoke when Master Hassan was there and when Master Hussein was there. And of course, in presence of the Amir al-Mu'mineen, he didn't. Never. And that attribute is called adab. In technical terms, adab. Now, adab is a word used in Urdu, Punjabi, Farsi, and all that. And often it is translated quite simplistically into English as respect. But it is more than that, much deeper than that. Adab means giving everyone due respect, what they deserve. In Islam, it's very important. Adab, just allow me 2 minutes or so on adab. Very important attribute of Abbas, adab. Adab. In Islam, we are supposed to give due respect to everyone. Children are supposed to do adab before their parents. Give them due respect. Teachers, Maulana, different people, relatives, due respect, whatever respect they deserve. In Islam, we are supposed to show adab to even animals. Can you believe that? Due respect. According to Islam, the adab of treating animals is that you shall not hit them on their face. In Islam, it's not allowed. Adab. Everything has to be given adab, whatever they deserve. The adab one is supposed to show to Imam Ma'soom is unconditional obedience. Unconditional obedience, no questions, no suggestions, nothing. Whatever they order you to do, you simply do. That is what Abbas did. There were many people who were well-wishers of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They would give him suggestions. Please do not go there, take this way, take that way. Muhammad Hanafiya, his brother, son of Ali alayhi salam, used to give him suggestions. There were Sahaba, they would give suggestions to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. You go there, please don't take that route. Take care of yourself. Oh, the enemies are many in that area. Abbas never did that. Hussein knows what he's doing. He is Hujjatullah. He has that knowledge. He is my master. That was adab. Adab. Now, I want to spend a couple of more minutes on adab, because this is something that is disappearing from this world. Giving due respect to different persons. And I said it's disappearing from this world, but apparently the world has been like this. The world has been like this. I was recently reading that Cicero, who lived in Roman times, and he was a lawyer and a statesman. Cicero, famous man. He died in around 43 BC or so. And he wrote, times are bad, children don't listen to their parents, and everyone is writing a book. Everyone is writing a book without knowing, without really having ilm. Everyone wanted to write a book, apparently 2,000 years ago. Nowadays, times are bad. Children don't listen to their parents, and everyone is not writing a book, but everyone is sitting on TikTok and giving expert opinions on every subject. That's what is happening. That is lack of adab. And one particular type of lack of adab that we have, Shia Muslims, is that people stand up and criticize the fatwa of the maraji. Adab. It's the same topic. Adab. Adab towards Imam Ma'soom is unconditional obedience. No unconditional obedience to anyone else other than Imam Ma'soom, but still, marji'. Yes, a marji' can be criticized. Yes, you can criticize a marji' and his fatwa, and ulama do that. Those who have the credentials. You can barely recite Bismillah with proper makharij. And you can't recite Surah Al-Fatiha properly. And you recite the translation of the Quran to understand the verses. And you want to criticize the fatwa of Sayyid As-Sistani? What kind of adab is that? I'm not saying that no one is immune. I said everyone can be criticized. Other than the infallibles, everyone can be criticized if you have the credentials. If you want to criticize the fatwa of a marja', sure. Do you know usul al-fiqh? Have you learned Arabic? Have you learned hadith? All those things that are necessary. If yes, you don't have to be a marja' yourself, but at least to a certain level. And then you can criticize. Yeah, sure. But if not, remain in your limits, please. Because this is jahala, ignorance, arrogance, without having any knowledge. If I start criticizing the work of actuaries or doctors or those who write computer codes and I have no idea about these things, how would that sound? Just because I have learned there is something called Fortran, in my days we were using that. Or I know that, yeah, there is something called C, whatever that is, and I start giving expert opinions, I am showing no adab towards computer scientists in that case. Very important, this adab. Now, two more qualities of Abul Fadl al-Abbas that we see in a hadith attributed to Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Please recite a salawat. And they are very important and very relevant with our lives, really. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says about Abul Fadl al-Abbas that our uncle, kana ammun al-Abbas, nafid al-basira, wa sulb al-iman. Two attributes in one hadith. He was nafid al-basira and sulb al-iman. What does that mean? That he had basira to such a degree, nafid, nufud, nifad, it had diffused into him. Perfect basira. And I haven't translated the word basira yet. What is basira? Extremely important for all of us to develop this attribute, basira, that often I feel we lack. Basira and basar, rooted in the same root. Basar means sight. Basira means insight. Deep insight and deep understanding. For basar you need these eyes. For basira you need eyes of the heart. Basira. The Imam says he was nafidul basira. No one could deceive him. No one could deceive him. For example, look at his basira, level of his basira. One of the narrations says that on the night leading to the day of Ashura, just before the sunset, after Asr, Shimr the accursed came shouting, "Where are the sons of my sister?" Very accursed man, lowly man. Sons of my sister. He came towards the camp of Imam Husaini alayhi salam. Sons of my sister, because Fatima Kilabiya, Banin, and Shimr were from the same tribe. They had some sort of relation. So he said, she's our sister. Cunning man, accursed man. Sons of my sister. Long story short, he said, look, I have this amnesty for you. I've got it from Ibn Ziyad. Tomorrow is going to be battle, a fierce battle. But I've got this amnesty. If you don't fight, you'll get amnesty. Abbas said, La'nat on you and your amnesty. You want me to leave Hussein playing this tribal card? No. This is impossible. Basira. But this is only one of the many instances where Abbas showed basira. Even at the funeral of Hassan alayhi salam, when they started shooting arrows, his hand, he was ready to fight. Hussein said, no. No means no. The one who has basira has no emotions. The one who has basira, he does not play into the hands of emotions, does not let his emotions take over his aql. His aql is telling him, Hussein is Hujjatullah. I have to obey him. Whatever Hussein says, I have to do that. There were many people who lacked basira completely. I recited a part of verse number 16 of Surah Al-Ra'd in the opening sermon, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to basira. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِ الْأَعْمَى وَالْبَصِيرُ. Say, are the blind and the one who has basira equal? Which means no. No, the blind, those whose hearts are blind. Hearts, when hearts become blind, how hearts become blind? You see, there were people like Khaja Rabi. Khaja Rabi, he has a shrine in Mashhad. I used to go there. Many people go there when they go on ziyarah. But he's a controversial figure. Ustad Mutahari heavily criticizes him and says he had no basira at all. He had such a lack of basira that he said to the Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali alayhi salam, please send me to some place near the border of the Islamic land so that if a war breaks out, I do not have to fight Muslims but non-Muslims because they live near the borders. Muslims. What does that mean? If you order me to fight against Muslims, I won't. Send me near the border so that I fight only against non-Muslims. That was the level of his basira. All the time busy in dhikr, adhkar, recitations of the Quran, salat and all that, but did not understand the maqam of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So much so that he did not join Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and he was busy in his salat and adhkar, and he didn't say a word other than tasbih, praising Allah, glorifying Allah. And when they told him Hussein was murdered, Hussein was killed, he said, oh, very bad. Oh, very bad. And then he kept doing istighfar. Why he said very bad instead of subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. It is very bad that they killed Hussein because he had said that. He did istighfar. This was the level of basira of many people in that time. Many people in that time. Those who have a superficial understanding of religion, they have no basira. Absolutely no basira. Because basira, this wisdom, this light, the sight of the hearts comes from understanding things on a profound level, using aql and doing tafakkur and reflection. When the Imam says that Abbas was nafidul basira, it tells us what kind of life Abbas lived. All his life busy in understanding things on a deeper level, not on a superficial level, doing tafakkur, reflection. Imam Reza alayhi salam said, innamal ibadah at-tafakkur fi Amrillah. The Imam said it's not the abundance of fasting and prayers, nawafil. That is ibadah. But indeed, ibadah is reflection on the affairs of Allah. That gives basira. That gives that knowledge that helps one understand what is true, what is false, what is truth, what is falsehood, what is justice, what is injustice. This basira is so important in the times of fitna. Fitna, especially in the end times. A world where we have deep fake, AI, robots. We don't even know who said what. One definition of fitna is, it is a test in which haqq and batil are makhlut. Truth and falsehood are mixed. And is presented before you. Now you tell what is true, what's false. Those who do not have basira, they fail miserably. Someone makes a deep fake of a marja and he gives an order to do this, do that, and we go. For example, that was a very simple and simplistic example, but there can be many different kinds of tests. One test we have these days is that people say, why you keep saying Ali, Ali? People in our own congregations have started to criticize us. They say, why you're always talking about Ali? Why you're always talking about Wilaya? Maybe the caliphs were correct. They were not too bad after all. This is all fitna. Those who lack basira, they fall into this trap. They fall into this trap because superficial understanding of religion, and this superficiality comes from where? We are all muqassir ourselves. When we are more interested in kalam of shu'ara than kalamullah and kalam of ma'asum, this is going to happen. With all due respect, I recite poetry myself, I write poetry. I have a high respect for reciters and poets, but adab. Give them due respect. Listen to poetry. It's a very important part of our spiritual, cultural life. It warms our hearts. It increases the love of the Ahlul Bayt in our hearts. But it's not above kalamullah and kalam of ma'asum. The problem is we don't have kalam of ma'asum, or very little usually in our congregations. Ahadith are full of beautiful sayings that will give us basira if we looked at them, unfolded them, interpreted them. The lessons for life, mental health lessons, lessons for self-improvement, full of. But we need to make time for that. We have to develop taste for that kalam of ma'asum and kalam of Allah, and our basira will increase. Very important to develop this basira because there are times, difficult times gonna come. A lot of fitna in this age of confusion, completely immersed in all those messages from left, right, and center, from the others, from within our congregations, from here, from there. If we left Ali and the children of Ali, will be lost in this world and in the hereafter. And lost is an understatement. I'm telling you, this I have understood. There are many things that I have started to understand in this age. And there was a time when I also had that sort of thought, what is this Ali, Ali, Ali? And then Allah showed me light. And then I realized how important it is. How important it is. This beautiful faith of ours that is based on the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt, which are a continuation of the teachings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The only intact school of thought in Islam properly. Cherish it. Cherish it, increase the basira. Sulb al-Iman, the next attribute of Abbas. Sulb al-Iman means firm faith. Hard. Sulb means something that's very hard, very firm. Nothing can deteriorate it. Nothing can diffuse into it. Unshakable faith, like a mountain of Tawheed. Abul Fadl al-Abbas. Mountain of Tawheed. And you know how he attained that level of Tawheed? Through the wasila of Husain. through the wasila of Husain. Awwal tafakkur, ibadah and all that. But Qadi Tabatabai, great Arif, a teacher of Allamah Tabatabai, rahmatullah alayhi, he said, I have understood, because he had basira, he had that light in his heart, he could see things that we can't see. He says, I saw and I have understood that no one can attain the higher levels of Tawheed but through the wasila of Husain. And the first person to have done that is Abul Fadl al-Abbas. Without having shown himself, without showing off, without making any noise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala graced him. Abbas thought, I'm never gonna stand up, never gonna show myself, never gonna manifest. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and I paraphrase, colloquially speaking, Allah said, I will make you appear for the rest of time. He never showed himself. Izhar-e wujud. Allah made his zuhur, the zuhur of his wujud today we see in Karbala. That strong faith of Abbas, faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we are running out of time, I want to spend more time on the last attribute of Abbas, that is perhaps the most relevant attribute for us. And in Ziyaratul Nahiyah, Imam Zaman alayhi salam says, please recite a salawat. Refers to Abbas alayhi salam, the Imam of our time, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. He refers to Abul Fadl Abbas alayhi salam in Ziyaratul Nahiyah and says he was al-akhidh lighadihi min amsihi. He says he is someone who earned his tomorrow on the basis of his yesterday. So deep and so beautiful. And I want you to pay attention, very relevant for us. This is really going to change our lives if we understood what the Imam means here. Abbas earned his tomorrow on the basis of his yesterday, not today. Something deep. The Imam is telling us, what you see in Abbas, in Karbala, that bravery, that iman, that firmness of faith, that loyalty and all that, that is what is not the job of one day. He is a product of his lifetime yesterday. All his life, he consistently worked on himself, on himself, to reach that status. Earned his tomorrow on the basis of yesterday. Every day self-improvement, every day, so that he reached a status that is called malekah. Malekah means a state where you become completely skillful in something. Completely skillful. Unconsciously you perform something. Some people have a malakah of speaking the truth. And some people have the malakah of telling lies. They've been lying all their lives so that they always lie. They don't even know what they're saying. Unconsciously they tell lies. Some people have developed the malakah. This internalized beliefs, ingrained habits, that is malika. Ingrained habits, imprinted on your soul something. Some people have been munafiq all their lives to such a degree they don't even know that they are munafiq. Some people have been hurting others all their lives, pulling legs, gossiping, that they don't even know what they're doing, or they know but they can't help it. If you've been doing something for a very long time, you cannot unlearn it in one day, my brothers and sisters. And our problem is that for all too long, we have been doing silly things, wrong things, without knowing. And now they have become our malika. Ingrained, imprinted. And if you do something silly, if you do something bad, if you hurt others, you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to. It's going to haunt you. It's going to hurt you. It's going to manifest itself in bad conscience, in different kinds of anxieties, and God knows what. Yesterday was important. Yesterday. But everything's not lost. The good thing is that today is yesterday for tomorrow. It's never too late. It's never too late to change. We've got to change. All these bad habits that we have developed, even procrastination, not fulfilling promises, there are so many small things. Innocent lies that we do, and they have become our habit. We have to get rid of them. We have to. Because if we did not get rid of them in this life, we will be forced to get rid of them in the afterlife. And when I think about that, I start to become really afraid. Really afraid. Using yesterday to earn tomorrow also means using this dunya to earn the akhirah. We have completely forgotten why we are here. This is the problem. In this world, we have been sent to earn the hereafter, not to earn this dunya. Yes, we have to study. Yes, we have to work. Yes, we have to earn money and all that. But we haven't been sent to this dunya to earn dunya. And we all know that. You'll say, Maulana, tell me something new. And I will say, yeah, this is new because we have forgotten it so much that we need to remind ourselves. And there was a time when I didn't think about it. In my 20s, let me be very honest, in my 20s, I didn't think about retiring, for example. I thought, retirement? What is that? Retiring and all that? Who cares? Now, I am starting to think about retirement. Yeah, it was important. We are like, in this world, not thinking about our final retirement. We have to retire one day. What kind of pension have we earned? What kind of pension have we earned? In this dunya, in Akhirul Zaman, our hearts are consumed in dunya and we don't want to think about the Akhirah. And I am trying myself to remind myself every day, my brothers and sisters, because I'm becoming afraid now. Really. This dunya is a mirage, sarab, and we are all running after it. We're all running after it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ. What you have will be spent. مَا عِنْدَكُمْ يَنْفَدْ. Whatever you have will be spent, will disappear. What Allah has is baq, is there to remain forever. But it's never too late. Let's try and work on our akhirah. get rid of bad habits. It's not going to be easy, but we can. Start, think. As soon as you commit a sin, because we do commit sins without knowing. For example, we make some stupid joke that can hurt someone. It's a sin. We do gossip. We tell an innocent lie. Always quickly think, was this the right thing to say? The wrong thing to say. If it was the wrong thing to say astaghfirullah, 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 quickly. And don't mind if you keep doing it over and over again. Just keep saying astaghfirullah, and one day, inshallah, you will get rid of it. At least show some remorse. Say, God, I'm weak, I'm silly, but I'm aware of it. Please help me. He will help you. Akhirah we have to earn, and we are so busy in this dunya. I want to finish this lecture with one last thing that I want to tell you. This dunya, what is this dunya, this life? We think we have a lot of time. We think we have a lot of time, but we don't really. And we think that we are always going to remain here. This is called hubbud dunya. Hubbud dunya. The Amir al-Mu'mineen said, hubbud dunya ra'su kulli khati'ah. Love for this dunya is the source of all mistakes, all bad things. What is that hubbud dunya? There can be different interpretations. One interpretation that, in my point of view, one interpretation is that when we think that we are never going to leave this dunya, when we are deriving pleasures from this dunya, we want them to last forever and ever and ever. And we are not willing to leave this dunya. We don't want to leave that silly pleasure, which is nothing. What a stupid world this is, that every flower has a thorn. Here neither pain is perfect nor pleasure is perfect. Every pleasure is accompanied by some pain, something dirty. This is this dunya. And we want to stay here forever and ever and ever. And we think we have a lot of time, but we don't. We don't. There is this exegete, a Sunni Muslim, but he wrote something beautiful. Fakhr Razi says, he didn't understand why there was so much focus on khasara, innal insana lafi khusr, loss, why there was so much emphasis. And he says, one day I went to the bazaar in a hot weather. On a hot day, I went to the bazaar and I saw that cobblers were busy in their work, tailors were busy in their work, the shopkeepers were busy in their work quietly, and there was one guy who was shouting out loud. He was saying, please buy it from me. He was the ice seller. He said, please buy it from me, because if you did not buy, my stuff will go to waste. He says, then I understood. Then I understood why there is so much focus on khasara, loss. And someone asked an Arif, what is life? And he said, life is like the story of an ice seller. And someone asked that ice seller, did you sell something? He said, no, I sold nothing, but it vanished anyway. Life is slipping through our hands. Have we sold any of it? The buyer is waiting for us. Have we sold anything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He will buy and give big money, big price for a small thing that we can sell to him. It's slipping through our hands. And we are busy in this dunya. These occasions are a reminder for us. Abul Fadl Abbas earned his hereafter on the basis of this dunya, on the basis of that adab, that basira he had, that iman he had, that love he had for Husain. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like Abul Fadl Abbas, give us a glimpse of that adab, O Allah. Give us a glimpse of that wisdom, O Allah. Give us a glimpse of that basira, that iman, O Allah. We have spent all our lives saying, Ya Husain, Ya Abbas, Ya Zahra. Yes, we are bad. Yes, we have been neglectful of ourselves, our nafs. But still, we are ugly, but we are in love with the beautiful ones, the Ahlul Bayt. Please, for the sake of those beautiful ones, remove our ugliness, O Allah. Please, give us the tawfiq to act upon everything that has been said in this majlis tonight, first and foremost myself. O Allah, for the sake of Husain, forgive our sins. And give us the tawfiq to start working on ourselves, all those bad things that we have developed into malika and ingrained in ourselves. Help us remove all those bad things. Allah, all those who are sick. There's a brother in London who is seriously ill. His sister has asked me to pray for him. And all the believers who are sick, Allah, give them cure. Allah, all those brothers and sisters who are suffering from mental health issues, descend sakinah, itminan, and peace into their hearts. Allah, all the believers who are suffering from financial problems, Allah, help them and solve their financial problems. Give us the tawfiq to sincerely and genuinely pray for the return of our Imam so that he can return and establish peace on this earth. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum wa la'ana alayhim ajma'in. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bar Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat. Asant Dr. Sayyid Rehan Naqvi for delivering an elegant majlis. I now request Amir Bhai Walji to come and recite his Manabat. Please, let's invite him with a loud Nare Salawat.
الصلوات नारे तकबीर नारे रिसालत नारे हैदरी भाई होकर भी हमेशा दम गुलामी का भरा भाई होकर भी हमेशा दम गुलामी का भरा इब्ने हैदर क्यों बना देते ना सुल्तान वफा इब्ने हैदर क्यों बना देते न सुल्तान वफा एक एक जुम्बिश तेरी इशार की आईनादार एक एक जुम्बिश तेरी इशार की आईनादार एक एक धड़कन धड़कते दिल की फरमाने वफा एक एक धड़कन धड़कते दिल की फरमाने वफा نہ رہے قدوں میں تیرے پانی ہونٹوں سے دور، دیرے قدوں سے تیرے پانی ہونٹوں سے دور، سامنے دنیا کے تو نے رکھ دی میزان وفا صلوات۔
Sant Amir Bhai. Momineen, I would now request upon a young man who is an excellent reciter for Mashias, Qasidas, and also the Holy Quran. I would now request upon Brother Hasnan Datu to come and deliver his one kabat. Please let's welcome with a loud Nari Salawat.
أفضل الصلاة محمد وآل محمد. يا حسين يا عباس يا عباس يا حسين يا حسين يا عباس يا عباس يا حسين. کربلا کربلا تیرے دو بادشاہ، کربلا کربلا تیرے دو بادشاہ، کربلا کربلا تیرے دو. ایک محمد کا بیٹا، ایک محمد کا بیٹا، ایک زہرا کی دعا. کربلا کربلا تیرے دو بادشاہ، کربلا کربلا تیرے دو. ایک جوانان جنت کا سردار ہے، دوسرا باد خیبر علمدار ہے. ایک جوانان جنت کا سردار ہے، دوسرا باد خیبر علمدار ہے. ایک خدائے صبر و رضا، ایک قرآن وفا. کربلا کربلا تیرے دو بادشاہ، کربلا کربلا تیرے دو. ایک وہ جس کی مرضی ہے رب کی رضا، ایک وہ جس کو باب الحوائج کہا، ایک وہ جس کی مرضی ہے رب کی رضا، ایک وہ جس کو باب الحوائج کہا. دونوں حرم کے بیچ میں بیٹھو مل جائے خدا. کربلا 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 تیرے دو بادشاہ، کربلا کربلا تیرے دو. ایک عطا ہی عطا اور شفا ہی شفا، ایک سخا ہی سخا اور وفا ہی وفا. ایک عطا ہی عطا اور شفا ہی شفا، ایک سخا ہی سخا اور وفا ہی وفا. ایک کا دریا پر قبضہ، ایک دلوں کا شہنشاہ. کربلا کربلا یا علی، کربلا یا या अली करबला करबला तेरे दो बादशाह करबला करबला तेरे दो करबला तेरी पहचान खाके शिफा अंबिया ने यहाँ आके सजदा किया करबला तेरी पहचान खाके शिफा अंबिया ने यहाँ आके सजदा किया ज़हरा के बेटों ने तुझको रुतबा ये दिया करबला करबला तेरे दो बादशाह करबला करबला तेरे दो मुझ गुनाहगार की माफ़ कर दी खता मैं जहन्नम से सीधा जिना में गया मुझ गुनाहगार की माफ़ कर दी खता मैं जहन्नम से सीधा जिना में गया चार कदम पे हुर का रोज़ा देता है सदा या अली या अब्बास करबला करबला तेरे दो बादशाह करबला करबला तेरे दो बादशाह करबला करबला तेरे दो बादशाह बर मोहम्मद व आल मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
Mu'minin, now I request upon the master of poetry, Muhammad Abbas Jafar, to come and honor us with his poetry. Please, let's welcome with him now Nare Salawat.
Scholars, elders, brothers, sisters, Assalamu alaikum. The introduction was too kind. Hassan. I was telling some of the boys yesterday that it's an honor to be here because this is like a second home to me. Growing up, I used to come here all the time. My Manabat and Nanima, now marhum, used to live here. So if I can humbly ask you to recite a Surah Al-Fatiha for them and for all those who've lost their lives in conflicts and genocides around the world, and Kul Marhumin, Al-Fatiha. Again, just like yesterday, please get involved. This is in honor of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, Qamar ibn Hashim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Such is the dua of Ali. Such is the dua of Ali that Abbas is the answer. You know, Abu al-Fadl was prayed for before his birth, grew like a shoot from this very earth, for it was the ocean of eloquence that watered him, the leaders of Jannah that supported him, and his mother who ordered him, saying, where Hussein steps, you step. If Hussein rests, you rest. If he stands, you stand straight after, for though you share the same father, you are his servant and he is your master. He is your Mawla, so don't call him brother. For I gave birth to you, but Zahra's his mother. I gave birth to you, but Zahra's his mother. Abbas was a shining moon, so handsome. At Siffin, he killed 100 and some. The enemy shook, their lives were his ransom. And when Abbas went to war, the sound of bodies dropping became his anthem. Arm and sword would move as one, not random, in tandem. The tandem so perfect they're unsure where the sword starts and his hand ends. The tandem so perfect they're unsure where the sword starts and his hand ends. And down go the mandem. So on the day of Ashura, when the enemy stood on the battlefield, there was no sound except for their rattled shields. This bunch of cattle yield their honor like apple peels. They expect to hear hooves clip-clopping and clip-clapping, but see a warrior approach with his heels dragging. He jumps off his horse and now he's on his feet standing. Not a soldier but a lion. Not a soldier but a lion, and he's meal planning. Inni ana Abul Fadil, he says out loudly. If they had been religious, they would have prayed devoutly. But they're just his prey, and he'll devour these cowardly men that are more like a crowd of sheep. Because Abbas is all good and these men all bad, unsavory. Abbas speaks all truth and these men all lies, fakery. Abbas is strong and these men weak, papery. Abbas's mind was free, but these men are shackled, slavery. Abbas is steadfast and these men like the wind, wavering. Because these men were fed milk as children, but al-Banin fed Abbas bravery. Ya Ali. al-Banin fed Abbas bravery. So if Abul Fadil amazes you like he amazes me, is saving you like he's saving me, and you don't mind the Nasibis hating you like they're hating me, then can somebody give me a Nare Haydari? Son, boys, that was your cue right then. And Abbas looked at them as if to say, "O you who are fatherless, do you know who my father is?" After which they stood in silence, as even though the question was simple, they couldn't answer it. For they were awestruck by their sore luck to be standing before Abbas, the poor schmucks. But it was a question that Abbas answered years before, when he said that Husaini are the sons of Muhammad, and I am the son of Ali, and it is the role of the son of Ali to protect the sons of Muhammad. And I'll answer it now by saying that Ali is the lion of Allah, and Abbas is the lion of Ali. And as Abul Fadil approaches the enemy on Karbala's battlefield, he is ready. Cuts through them, his steps are steady. Look in his eye is so deadly, it causes them to part as if he is Musa and they're the Red Sea. Causes them to part as if he is Musa and they're the Red Sea. But these people are evil. So feeble they're unmoving as if they're beetles stuck in some treacle. But Abbas is regal, like a golden eagle. He's gleeful as they aim their bows and needles and shoot, so that the sky is arrow-filled. And the lion darts through these shallow-willed men with narrow builds, leaving them like sparrows killed. Abbas is their executioner. Abbas is their executioner, and he has his gallows filled. Abbas is their executioner, and he has his gallows filled with impious men. They try to knock him down, but he keeps moving, so they try again. They soon realize they're not in a battlefield. They're in a lion's den, and this lion feeds on nothing but lying men. You know, Fitras descended, asked Husaini to restore his wings. Yet Abbas ascended, having gladly given his. And where his arms once were, we now see wings sprouted. And though the moon has finally been dismounted, it's only so a shrine could be founded, surrounded every second of every day by infinite zuwar that cannot be counted, leaving us confounded and astounded, so that we too wish to join them and surround it dumbfounded. So Abbas stayed in the shadow of Husain. His steps in the footprints of his master he placed. In the mold of Aba Abdullah, he was raised until he grew into a mountain that couldn't be swayed. And until his final moments, his mother he obeyed. No, even until now, because the dome of Hussein, the dome of Abbas is behind the dome of Hussein, preferring to sit in its shade. Because al-Banin told Abbas to be one step behind Hussein in all things other than death. Don't outlive him by even a breath. So Abbas became Khadim of Hussein and we become Khadim of Abbas, catching drops from his mushk, the overflowing bag, clinking hard to the mast of his ever-floating flag. You know, from Earth, man spent years attempting to put a flag on the moon. Some are still trying. Man spent years attempting to put a flag on the moon. Some are still trying. Yet a moon put a flag into the earth of Karbala years back, and it's still flying. Ya Ali. Now bear in mind, no matter how hard you try to find a tyrant shrine on the horizon line, the only sight is of two domes, now aligned, how entwined, two brothers for whom even the sanest of men have lost their minds. And no matter how hard we try, our minds have nowhere near the comprehension of the sheer complexion of the perfection that is Abbas. And when we look in the other direction, we realize that he's just a projection of his brother, a reflection of none other than Hussein. In fact, the moon of the Hashemites followed the sun of Zahra like day after night. The moon of the Hashemites followed the sun of Zahra like day after night, orbiting Hussein joyfully, defending him loyally. If Hussein is the king of martyrs, then Abbas must also be royalty. Abbas must also be royalty. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Sant Muhammad Abbas. Engagement notification. Mu'mineen, on this auspicious birth anniversary of Hazrat Abbas Ghazi Alamdar, Brother Sadiq and Sister Shehnaz Halani are delighted to announce the engagement of their beloved daughter, Sana Fatima, to Muhammad Nasser, beloved son of Nur Ali Bhai and Zainab Bhai Nasser. Our Jamaat extends its warmest congratulations to both the families and friends. Can I please have a loud Nara Salawat, please? Jazakallah. Jazakallahu khair. Mu'minin, as you know, I have been announcing over the last week or so regarding the 3 Shaban Khushali that we need funds for the Tabarruk. We have received funds from 2 brothers, Brother Al-Haj Shabir Najfi and Brother Shabir Hassan Jessa Damani. And you are humbly requested to enjoy the Tabarruk today. At the same time, can you please join me in reciting Surah Fatiha for the family of Marum Mullah Najfi and Al-Haj Hassan Ali Muhammad Ali Jessa Damani and Kul Marumins Al-Fatiha. Mu'minin, today's Milad Majlis is for the Isale Sawab of Marhuma Shirin Bhai Kasmali, Marhuma Zera Bhai Ismail, Marhum Haider Bhai Ismail, Marhuma Naushina Bhai Ismail, Marhumins of Ismail family, Marhumins of Ravji family, and Kul Marhumins. Majlis for the Isale Sawab of Marhum Al-Haj Muhammad Taqi Bhai Dala, who passed away in Dar es Salaam yesterday and was buried today. Marhuma Leila Bhai Muhammad Taqi Dala, Marhuma Rehana Alu, Marhuma Jamila Bhai Muhammad Taqi Dala, and Kul Marhumins. You are humbly requested to recite Surah Fatiha for Kul Marhumins. Al-Fatiha. Mu'minin, there is one more important thing on the itinerary before we ask for you to be standing for salam. Mu'minin, the AV team is a very hard-working team, and they all work in harmony, and they've implemented fantastic way of communicating the majlises, projections, and everything. There's a young man in that team. He's a Nottingham University undergraduate. He always leaves his university as soon as he has free time, or at the weekend. He comes running back to our center, and he devotes his time on the AV team. He's also implemented the AV team and also for the Imam Riza Center, for the Dar es Salaam Jamaat, and his future venture will be inshallah Norwich Jamaat. I would now request upon a young man by the name of Minhal Muhammad Ratansi. But before he comes over, we did ask him to put a tie on so that the rest of the world know who Minhal Ratansi is, so he can inshallah start receiving some proposals. Asan. Can I now request a loud salawat for Minhal Muhammad Ratansi to tell us about the podcast? Bar Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat.
Thank you, Mukisab, for that largely lovely introduction. Respected scholars, my elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor to be able to address all of you on the blessed birth anniversary of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala. In recent times, we are living in a growing digital world. With the rise of social media and digital content, we now find that Islamic content is becoming rapidly available to all of us online. Now, a few months ago, we had a vision to capitalize on this rise in digital media and content and grow this Jamaat's online presence. Many of you are familiar with our YouTube channel, HICTV, which provides live streams and coverage of majority of our programs at our center, with a global audience massing 100,000 views across the whole channel. Alhamdulillah, our audio-visual system and quality is second to none, and has been recognized and praised by many speakers, reciters, and Jamaats across the world. As such, we have always strived to look for ways to improve and grow, and we have identified a lack in short-form consumable online content that is run, maintained, produced, and operated by a Jamaat in the UK or even further afield. Content that is specific for the Shia Muslim community and readily available no matter what. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that today I can announce the launch of the HIC podcast. This endeavors to deliver fresh and enriching content tailored for Shia Muslims worldwide, diving into a diverse array of topics, featuring captivating interviews with globally acclaimed reciters and scholars from the Shia community, alongside individuals spanning various fields such as fitness experts, well-being coaches, educators, and many more. They will explore their journeys, insights, sharing stories and lessons and words of wisdom as they generously impart their experiences and guidance with our cherished listeners. We aim to have sports-related episodes talking about upcoming football matches or other sporting events, and even a section for our ladies where they will have their own episodes led, hosted by them, and especially catered directly for them. So where will this be available? Video and audio episodes will be published to the HICTV YouTube channel under the podcast tab, which you'll now see on the screen. And we will also be publishing audio versions on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Short clips and teasers will be posted on all of the Jamaat social medias, including Facebook, Instagram, and all under the name of HICTV. Episodes will begin releasing very shortly, and notifications of these episodes will be communicated through the Jamaat's broadcast channels, so please do keep a lookout for them. Although we are aiming to reach the hearts and minds of the masses, we really want this podcast to capture the Peterborough Jamaat, from the kids and the youth to the mums and dads and seniors, and as such, there will be many opportunities for you as a community to interact, chances to ask your questions to guests, alongside competitions, challenges, and we really want you to feel a part of this amazing project, so even chances to feature on your own episode. If you have any ideas, suggestions, or questions, please do not hesitate to contact myself or a member of the HICAV team. Now, this idea was only brought to the management committee in late November, and it's only with the amazing support of many individuals who have worked very tirelessly in all capacities to get this all the way from a proposal to fruition. These people have worked in the background, and it's really important for me that I acknowledge their help. Firstly, I'd like to thank the office bearers, along with the management committee, for their continued support and advice along the way, and also the generous donors who have been instrumental in the first initial purchase of equipment needed to set up this podcast. However, some bits of equipment is being borrowed and lent to us. Therefore, I ask you to believe in this vision that we did all these months ago, a vision of providing Islamic, informative, relatable content to our youth, insights into the lives of our scholars and reciters, and preserving the heritage of our Jamaat with lessons and stories from our elders. I urge you, please, to donate towards this project via the Jamaat Treasury using the reference HIC podcast. Whatever you give today on a night like this will be returned back to you tenfold. This will help us in replacing this borrowed equipment and having the first fully functioning podcast studio setup owned and contained within a centre in the UK or further afield. There are a few individuals who I am really grateful for this and this journey who would not be possible without them. Therefore, I'd like to thank the dedicated members of our AV team, Brother Abbas Walji, Muntazir Mamdani, Hussein Datu, Aftab Roji, Tahir Nanji, and of course, our president and my mentor, Abbas Munji. Their painstaking work in getting this set up and organised alongside a busy Jamaat schedule was not an easy task. I'd also like to thank both my mum and dad for supporting me no end through this process and have encouraged me all the way up to this speech, which I really did not want to do, but I'm very grateful for their help. And lastly, I'd like to thank every single one of you in advance, as I know this is a community of support and love for all members. So I have no doubt that your support will be given to this podcast by either encouraging your kids to watch, sharing with your friends and family, and donating towards this cause, and keeping us all in your du'as on such an auspicious occasion. With the loving memory of our loved ones who are no longer here with us, but they are not forgotten on such a night, I request you to recite a Surah Fatiha, but before that, a loud salawat.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيب الله السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا سيد الوصيين السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا خديجة الكبرى السلام عليك أيها الحسن المجتبى السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين وعلى التسعة المعصومين من ذريتك علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة بن الحسن عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل الله تعالى مخرجه وظهوره واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته
محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم قل وليك حجة من الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرزق توا وتمتعه فيها طويلا.
Thank you, boys. Well done.